In a quiet Texas courtroom, the walls hold more secrets than anyone dares to speak. Today, a young child's innocence collides with a mother's darkest choices. A 5-year-old caught in the middle of a theft becomes the silent witness to a crime too heavy for his small shoulders. The judge's voice cuts through the silence, demanding answers no one wants to give. And as the truth unravels, the courtroom discovers this isn't just about stolen goods, it's about a stolen childhood. What happens next will shake everyone to the core.
5-year-old doing when police are there? I'm assuming you all were placed in handcuffs.
I was already in the car. It was with his mother.
Mhm. All right, so it was you and his mother who was stealing. Are we here for sentencing?
Yeah, Judge, we're here for sentencing. You see at the theft case, there's life of probation. There's one letter of support. I would like to submit support from her daughter.
Okay. All right, who is the prosecutor on this case?
Sentencing.
They know. Yeah. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 5382B. I'm sorry, what? Hi. There's a lot happening. So everyone, this is what we're going to do. When we're on the record, don't approach the court coordinator because they're too close. If you want to approach the deputy and have them bring your person out, you're more than welcome to do so. Court is calling 2023 CR 5382B, State of Texas versus Elsa Morales. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Glenn paying for defense.
And are you Miss Morales?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea on August 14th. You entered a plea of guilty, applied for deferred adjudication. The state is asking that your punishment be assessed at 1 year in the state jail facility. They're remaining silent on your recommendations and they're taking certain cases into consideration. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yeah, there actually wasn't a PSI created in this court. You asked to reset. We asked for the PSI to get the letter, then you just wanted to see the criminal history.
Yes. So is there criminal history available for the court? Okay. All right, the court has reviewed the criminal history. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Judge, no witnesses. Like I said, we just have one support letter on behalf of Ms. Morales. It's her daughter, stating how she helped, that Ms. Morales helps take care of children, and she was working as a home health care, also supplied money for the family. We're going to ask that the court grant her probation in this case, and let her continue support of her family.
All right, Ms. Morales, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Elsa Mireles.
All right, why are you stealing?
That was a bad choice. I wasn't thinking.
Why are you involving a child in theft? Because it says that this was the MO, go to the store, put things in a cart, and then have a child push the cart outside. So you're basically unwittingly making a child a criminal. Why are you doing that? I mean, your attorney was not there, so he can't answer this question. You did it. You took a child in Target, or as we say, Target. You took a child there, loaded things in a basket, and for that child to know to just push that cart towards all points of sale tells me that somebody told that child, this is what's going to go down. We're going to go in, we're going to put items in this cart, and you just keep pushing it. So why?
I have no words for that.
Yes, and how old was the child that you all involved in your criminal activity who now thinks it's okay to engage in criminal activity?
5 years old.
All right, so you took a 5-year-old, and what day of the week was this? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what day?
I'm not sure.
All right, was it a school day?
No, I'm not too sure.
All right, so you take this 5-year-old, walk me through it. So the 5-year-old is pushing the cart out, and obviously police are called, right?
Right.
And did they speak to the 5-year-old? What is the 5-year-old thinking? Do you know? I know somebody will probably object to speculation, but I just want to know, what was the 5-year-old doing when police are there? I'm assuming you all were placed in handcuffs.
I was already in the car. It was with his mother.
Mhm. All right, so it was you and his mother who was stealing. Is that what you're saying?
We were already out and the mom told him to leave it there and he did it.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Somebody else helped the little boy push it out.
All right, so someone helped the little boy push the cart out after you all were committing a theft from Target. And what items were you all taking?
It was stuff for the kids.
No. Don't put this on the children. What items were you taking?
Toys.
And what else?
It was clothing.
So you're teaching children that in order to get things, they should steal. That's what you're teaching. And you left out to the tune of $553.69. So how full was the cart that you were taking out?
It was full.
All right. And then now I've received this letter where you took a child to help you steal, and somebody is saying that you're taking care of children and you're a home health care provider. I don't allow people in this courtroom who are on probation to be home health care providers. And who are you providing health to? Is this a relative?
No.
Right. So I don't know how you're able to take care of children and be a home health care provider.
Those are my kids that I take care of.
Mhm. I don't think you're a good candidate for probation because it appears that your background is littered with theft cases and you're here on a theft enhanced. And how old are you?
43.
I mean, you're old enough to know better. It's not like you're 20 or you're 19 and you have peer pressure. So again, tell me, why are you stealing? It says,
Just when the tension seems to ease, a chilling question lingers in the air. Did this child simply stumble into the crime, or was he trained to play his part? The defense scrambles, the mother hesitates, and the judge refuses to look away. Beneath the surface lies a storm of contradictions, a family in shambles, excuses collapsing under pressure, and with every word spoken, the possibility of mercy fades, replaced by something far more final.
here that you have a job, that you can pay for things. I don't
I
understand
didn't have
the
a job
stealing.
at that time, Your Honor, but that doesn't excuse for it.
I'm sorry, what?
I didn't have a job at that time, but that doesn't excuse for it.
And it certainly doesn't excuse involving a 5-year-old in your criminal activity. So again, why should I give you probation? The state is silent. Why should I give you probation?
Because I gotta take care of my kids. There's no fathers involved for my children.
Well, when you were using the 5-year-old to steal items, were you thinking about, who's going to take care of my children if I am at the Bexar County Jail? Were you thinking about that?
No, Your Honor.
And if something would have ended up happening, sometimes when people go to places and they steal, sometimes people end up getting shot. If that 5-year-old would have been shot, you know what would have ended up happening? You would have been on somebody's news, boo-hooing and crying about how it's unfair that your child was shot. So what am I supposed to do about this? You won't stop stealing.
I will, Your Honor.
Now, did you say that to the last judge, that you were going to stop stealing? How many times in your lifetime on this planet, as a 41-year-old, have you had criminal cases for stealing? Now, mind you, name them all because I've read the report.
Like, I believe 5 cases.
And you have not learned anything from that. What you've learned, obviously, is to continue to steal and start this idea where you take a child in with you You put items in a cart and you just have them pushing it out. In my mind, I can imagine this 5-year-old, because when you see children pushing carts, they're not even old enough to stand and look over the cart. They're just struggling, barely pushing it. And I'm always thinking to myself, why doesn't a parent help that child push their cart?
Your Honor, we told him to leave it there and he continued pushing it out. That's when the other two people helped him.
Oh, so now you're saying
Yeah, that's what we did.
you did not include him in your criminal enterprise.
We told him to leave it there and the other two people, random people, helped him.
Oh, so this is not a theft case. You were not intending to have him steal. Is that what you're telling the court?
That's what happened.
No. Are you telling the court that this was not a criminal enterprise, that you or somebody loaded a cart at Target with items, the 5-year-old was pushing it, and you're continuing putting items in a cart totaling over $500. And then as he's pushing the cart past points of sale, you're telling him, oh, just leave that there. Maybe you're telling him, we don't have money for that. We just loaded up the cart for some unknown reason and we have no money for that. Is that what you're telling the court? If not, let me know. I mean, I wasn't there. State wasn't there. Your counsel wasn't there. I'm just trying to figure out if that's what you're telling me. If that's not what you're telling me, say, Judge, no, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm not going to take that as a sign of disrespect, okay? So, are you telling the court that you all loaded up a cart of items at Target? The 5-year-old is pushing the cart, and you're telling the 5-year-old, leave the cart there. We don't have any money for these items. And your intent was just to walk out. Is that what you're telling the court?
To walk out without the stuff, like to leave the stuff there.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Judge, with this testimony elicited from my client at this time, I think we need to ask the court to withdraw her plea.
All right, that'll be denied. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to find you guilty. Court is going to sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility. Give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration GJ 812055, JN number 2127782. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. Do not steal. Do not take what does not belong to you, and do not involve children in your enterprise. Shane Riley.
As State versus Elsa Morales unfolds like a shadow creeping across a quiet street. From the very beginning, the atmosphere in the courtroom is tense. A Luther, accused of theft, stands before Judge Stephanie Boyd. But this is no ordinary theft case. It is one that involves a child, just 5 years old, thrust into a criminal scheme far beyond his understanding. The facts are laid bare. Morales, along with another adult, entered a Target store. Items were the case of State of Texas loaded into a cart, clothes, children's products, necessities perhaps, but stolen nonetheless. Instead of pushing the cart herself, Morales allowed a 5-year-old to guide it past the checkout lanes. The method is simple, calculated, and chilling in its casual cruelty. To the untrained eye, it could look innocent, just a small boy pushing a cart too big for him. But the judge sees through it. The child was being used, unwittingly made a participant in a crime. When questioned, Morales offers little clarity. Her voice is faint, her explanations incomplete. She admits the cart was full, she admits she was there, but when pressed on why she would involve a child, Her words falter. The judge does not relent. With every question, why would you do this? Why would you teach a child that stealing is acceptable? Why would you risk his life? The weight of Morales' decisions grows heavier. The defense tries to soften her image. A letter from her daughter paints Morales as a caregiver, a provider, someone who supports children and works as a home healthcare aide. But the judge's eyes are sharp. How can someone entrusted with the care of others also be the same person who drags a child into criminal activity? The contradiction is staggering, and the letter of support collapses under the pressure of reality. As the testimony continues, the picture of Morales' life becomes clearer, but not kinder. At 41 years old, she is no stranger to the justice system. Her record is littered with theft cases. This is not the mistake of a desperate teenager or a first-time offender. This is a pattern, repeated over decades, polished into habit. The judge asks her directly, "How many times in your lifetime have you been in court for stealing?" Morales answers softly, 5 times. The judge already knows. But perhaps the most haunting part of this story is the child. The judge lingers on the image, describing the sight of a small boy, barely able to see over the handle of a shopping cart, pushing it with all his strength. Did he know what he was part of? Did he think it was a game, a family outing, an adventure with his mother? Or will this be his first memory of crime, the beginning of a cycle destined to repeat? The judge warns her, children can be killed in thefts like these. A store clerk, a police officer, a bystander with a gun. One wrong move, and that 5-year-old could have been on the evening news, another tragedy swallowed by violence. The defense, sensing the walls closing in, tries to shift the narrative. Maybe Morales told the child to leave the cart. Maybe strangers helped him. Maybe this was all a misunderstanding. But the judge is unmoved. The logic doesn't hold. Too many details point in one direction, a planned theft with a child as cover. At this point, the trial reaches its breaking moment. The judge strips away the last illusions of leniency. She declares Morales guilty, sentencing her to 1 year in the state jail facility. Any hope for probation evaporates. The decision is swift, cutting, and final. Morales is given credit for time already served, but her freedom is gone. The courtroom quiets as the gavel falls. Yet the true punishment is not the sentence. It is the reflection forced upon Morales. The judge's closing words echo like a warning etched in stone. Do not steal. Do not take what does not belong to you, and do not involve children in your enterprise. This case is not just about stolen merchandise. It is about responsibility, about a child who should have been protected but instead was turned into an accomplice, about cycles of crime that poison not only the guilty but the innocent standing beside them. Morales may serve 1 year behind bars, but the shadow of her choices will linger far longer, in her children's memories, in her family's struggles, in her own haunted conscience. The courtroom empties. Papers shuffle, footsteps fade, the door closes. Yet the image remains. A 5-year-old child, too small for the weight he was made to carry, pushing a cart heavy with theft, his future already bruised by the sins of the present. And as the judge's voice fades, the audience is left to wonder, when innocence is stolen, can it truly ever be returned?